What up? It's Jack, aka Just a Cunt here, and today I wanted to talk about why fighters need to stop ruining their legacy. Specifically by taking short notice fights, stylistic mismatches, or trying to prove your worth after a big loss. The reason why I'm saying this is recently Charles Olivera versus Rafael Fiviez got announced for October 11th, just 39 days after he was knocked out in Rio de Janeiro. Now, I'm not too surprised that this happened. Charles Olivera is the type of fighter that likes to go in there. He is someone that's very active. He hasn't really taken too much time off in his career and is someone that feels like he has a chip on his shoulder. He always needs to prove himself, prove his worth. And I imagine the fact this is a main event fight night in Brazil, where Charles Olivera hasn't really been able to do since I think Kevin Lee, I believe, maybe the last one, but he hasn't been able to really either just fight in Brazil, period, or nonetheless headline. So I'm not too surprised that he took all of the opportunity when given to him. And this video is not here to say that Olivera is going to get knocked out cold. I think while yes, Fiviez is a difficult style for him, I think Olivera is high enough level that I think he can take him down. I think if he does get him down, his grappling ability will be a problem. And I think even on the feet, his long punches can be difficult for Fiviez, who has been caught before. But it's just difficult because Fiviez has really good hooks. He's very active. While I don't think he's some crazy power puncher that's going to flatline Olivera out cold, I definitely think he has the power to hurt Olivera or drop him or get him a little uncomfortable. So this fight is not necessarily a prediction for this fight saying that Olivera is going to get knocked out. More so what I wanted to talk about is I feel that not only recently, but in general, there have always been fighters who have chosen to, when presented with the opportunity to either retire, to take some time off, to take a step down in competition, they'll usually try to get back into the fire, which on one hand I can respect. I think a fighter losing a high-level fight, especially if it's like they're a undefeated fighter or they're on a really good run, I don't think one loss is enough for them to retire like boxing, but I do feel that a lot of these guys need to, for lack of better words, take their career serious. Charles Olivera, what is your goal? If your goal is to become a champion again, which is going to be even harder than before, or now you're not only going to have to, you're not going to be able to fight Ilias, you're going to have to wait till he's gone. You're probably not going to fight Islam, because I don't think with the limited amount of fights left he's going to use one on you. You are not going to have to fight Arman, Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. All these fights are way harder now. With new guys coming up, getting older, Charles Olivera isn't young and taking a lot of damage. He is on the career path of the Tony Ferguson, Tyron Woodley, BJ Penn pipeline, where he will eventually just keep losing until the UFC forces him to retire. Anderson Silva went down this direction. And I'm not just saying this as an MMA fan who hates watching his favorite fighters get knocked out. Of course, that's part of it. It hurts when you see Tony Ferguson get arm triangled by Bobby Green out cold, or tap to a not barely in guillotine by Diaz and then start, smiling with him and like pointing at him like, yeah, he won, he got me, like no edge at all. Go even Tyron Woodley getting knocked out by Jake Paul. It's sad to see these legends who are truly the top of their sport be so desperate for that feeling of winning again that they're willing to stoop so low as to just keep losing and losing. It's almost like they like being humiliated at some point. And I can't stand to see Charles Olivera, my favorite fighter, a lot of your guys' favorite fighter, end down that same road. I know people talk about Conor McGregor. They're upset that, he barely fights this, that. But at least he's not getting humiliated on a daily basis inside the octagon. Outside of it, you guys can have a conversation about that. In addition to that, I wanted to talk about CTE. I'm not here to be the fucking, oh guys, these UFC fighters, they're getting CTE. Man, I'm not a fucking prophet. But it is sad to see fighters, even like Max Holloway, who is still in a very high point of his career, you know, when cutting weight, slurring his speech a lot, you know, looking concussed, you know, looking like a lot of brain damage.
Hey, what's going on? How's the weight cut? You know, you drained? I mean, you look a little sleepy.
I'm good, man. I'm good. A little bit tired. They got me doing a bunch of media stuff, but I'll be fine, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to go out there and do the damn
Good
thing.
to know. As I say, no offense.
I know we make fun of him a lot, but Tito Ortiz, I'm not saying he would have been fucking, you know, Einstein if it wasn't for you for fighting, but it's sad to see when he literally can't even tell left and right.
Right hook to the body. Again. Other hand, same thing. Again. Right uppercut. Again. Other hand, same thing.
When he's not able to do that. You know, that's a sad thing to see. And to see fighters who have families, who have plenty of money. Charles Olivera is not desperate for money. From bonuses alone, he's a millionaire. And I can't imagine he wasn't paid handsomely for his fight against Ilia Topuria. So if this is just a money thing, managers, I know you're greedy fucks who want money. Stop forcing your fighters to just run into the octagon just to make a quick cash, or, you know, to get a bonus, or to do this, that, or you're gonna headline, you know, you're gonna headline a fight in Brazil. You know, we're finally going to Brazil. Give them a financial advisor. Tell them to stop spending their cash. Look at basketball. I can't speak for too many other sports, I'm not too familiar, but in basketball, there's so many cases where, you know, NBA players will be fucking homeless, or have no money, or be trying to do everything just to pay off their debts because they get cash, they make a bunch of money, and they think they can just go and play on the court and just make it all back. We need to look out for these fighters, because whether or not Charles Oliveira can beat Fiviez isn't the point. The point is that he just got not only like dropped like he has before, he's been knocked out flatline cold for the first time in his career and got ground and pound shots after. At this point in his career, when he's older, he takes a lot of damage. He's not a very safe fighter. He's fighting not a Gamrot. He's not fighting an RDA. He's not fighting even a Dan Hooker. He's fighting someone who is has momentum, is going to come in there and only strike with him, and is going to try and knock out Charles. Whether he loses or wins, he's going to get hurt in this fight and take even more damage. Charles has a family. And UFC fighters, I'm not going to blame the manager for this, need to think about their family, put their ego aside, and stop trying to just relive the glory days. CTE is real. You have kids, Olivera. Think about them. You make plenty of money. You should retire. As a fan of Charles Olivera, you should either just retire because the path to the belt is so difficult. I don't think it's worth it. And if you're not going to retire, you should either try to face legacy fights and try to fight Max Holloway. He's injured. Wait for Holloway. Or you should take at least 6 months off, at least if not a year. Take time off. Maybe look for, you know, do jiu-jitsu competitions. Take away from the octagon. Try to find something that could fill that void of the thrills of the light. I'm sure it's addicting. But these coaches, the people around them, you know, their families need to look at Olivera. Look at Tito Ortiz, you know, I want to say Matt Hughes, but I know he had a train accident with it, so it's a little bit different. But look at these cases, even look at football players and, you know, other sports where people get concussions. It's not good. It doesn't just magically not happen to you because you don't think it will. It's going to hit like a truck one day, or at least you're gambling a lot here when having a lot of people rely on you and a lot of fans that look up to you. So, you know, I'm not here to just say that Charles Olivera is try to be a party pooper, or try to be sad or whatever. But at the same time, it hurts as an MMA fan to see these fighters, these people that you care about that are inspirational, that give you hope, they make you want to be a better person, throw away their legacy and throw away their brain just to, you know, get one step closer to a belt that doesn't mean anything when you're a millionaire. You have a wife and kids, you have a family, you have fans, and you have all the opportunities. He's making a movie. Olivera, this is the time for you to take a step back and smell the roses a little bit. But nonetheless, I hope, as a fan of Olivera, that he does win this fight. I'm a fan. I like Fiviez as well, and I think this is a great fight. 5 rounds. Fiviez is someone that does tend to gas. I think Olivera, if he is to play it safe, focus on the grappling, stay on the outside, use his kicks. He's much bigger than Fiviez, and he needs to not try and, not even in a what is the smartest way to win the fight, but he just needs to avoid damage. He needs to focus on grappling. He needs to focus on staying safe, but I don't see that happening just with how Olivera is, his poor eyesight. He's just not someone that distance manages that well. He's not someone that I think can fight super safe, like Usman can in his career, or like other more, wrestling-focusing grapplers. So for the sake of Olivera, I am going to be rooting for him. I think he has a very solid chance of winning this. If I had to make a prediction, I think Fiviez is either going to get a first or second round TKO, or Olivera is going to win by decision. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. A little bit shorter video, wanted to bang this one out when I saw the reaction, but anyway, have a good one.